You open your banking app after payday. 6 figures just landed. Again. On paper, everything looks impressive. Big number, strong income. The kind of salary that's supposed to mean you've won. And yet, you hesitate. You scroll. You mentally subtract a few upcoming bills. You think, okay, this month might be tight. Not broke, but not relaxed either. You earn $200,000 a year, and somehow you still feel 1 or 2 bad months away from stress. If that moment felt uncomfortably familiar, stay with me, because many people think high income automatically equals financial security. If you're someone who earns good money but still feels pressure, stress, or confusion about where it's all going, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here's the thing. If a $200,000 salary still feels broke in 2026, the problem is not that you're bad with money. The problem is that income no longer works the way people think it does. And once you actually run the math and understand the psychology behind it, this starts to make uncomfortable sense. The lie we're still taught about money. Most of us grew up with a simple belief. Once you earn enough, money problems disappear. $200,000 is supposed to be that number. But that belief is outdated and, honestly, a little dangerous. Because it assumes money stress is caused by low income, when in reality, it's caused by structure. Here's what most people don't realize. You can double your income and still feel broke if your financial system scales faster than your pay. And in 2026, that's exactly what's happening to a lot of high earners. Let's start with the math, because it's brutal. First, taxes. On a $200,000 salary in the US, depending on your state, your effective tax rate often lands between 32% and 38%. That means your take-home pay isn't $200,000. It's closer to $125,000 to $135,000. That's about $10,500 to $11,000 per month. Already, the headline number just shrank by a third. Now let's talk housing. According to Zillow and Redfin data, the average mortgage or rent for professionals in major metro areas now ranges from $4,000 to $6,000 per month. Let's call it $5,000. That's almost 50% of your take-home pay gone before food, insurance, transport, or saving a single dollar. This is where people start feeling uneasy, even on $200,000, because you don't live on gross income, you live on what's left. This is where it gets really interesting. High earners don't just face higher costs, they face higher expectations. You're expected to live in a safe area, drive a reliable, newer car, have proper insurance, save aggressively for retirement, support family, appear successful. None of those things are reckless, but together, they quietly destroy margin. Here's what most people don't realize. Stress doesn't come from low income, it comes from low margin. If your fixed costs eat most of your take-home pay, your brain stays in survival mode, no matter how impressive your salary looks. The $200,000 trap, lifestyle that scales faster than income. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but people on $200,000 are just bad at budgeting. No, that's lazy thinking. What's actually happening is something called lifestyle auto-scaling. Every raise silently upgrades. Housing, transportation, insurance, convenience, spending, subscriptions, expectations. And none of it feels dramatic. An extra $1,000 here, a nicer option there, a longer commitment. But over time, your burn rate quietly creeps up to match your income. So instead of freedom, you get a more expensive version of the same stress. That's why so many $200,000 earners feel trapped in their job, afraid to downshift, anxious about layoffs, dependent on the next paycheck. High income, low flexibility. Let's talk about debt, the quiet killer. Another big one, debt that's considered normal. Student loans, car financing, mortgage interest. Here's a real example. A $900,000 mortgage at today's rates can easily cost over $1.5 million in total payments. That's $600,000 plus in interest. Interest doesn't just cost money, it steals time. Every dollar sent to interest is a dollar that never becomes freedom, choice, or security later. This is why high earners often feel like they're running hard, but standing still. The psychological side, no one talks about. Let's shift gears, because this isn't just math, it's psychology. When you earn a lot but still feel pressure, your brain does something dangerous. It normalizes stress. You tell yourself, this is just how adulthood feels. Everyone at my level feels like this. I just need one more raise. That mindset is a trap, because it keeps you optimizing income instead of fixing structure. Here's the uncomfortable truth. More income won't fix a broken financial system. It just hides the cracks longer. So, what actually fixes this? Let's get practical. If $200,000 still feels broke, here's what actually matters. 1. Track free cash flow, not income. What's left after housing, debt, insurance, and essentials? That number determines your stress level. 2. Cap fixed costs aggressively. Housing above approximately 30 to 35% of take-home pay kills flexibility. No amount of income makes that painless. 3. Control burn rate before chasing more money. If your lifestyle costs $9,000 per month, you'll feel pressure forever. Lower the floor, not just raise the ceiling. 4. Build time leverage. 3 to 6 months of real coverage changes how you think, work, and negotiate. Time coverage equals power. 5. Stop treating $200,000 like the finish line. In 2025, it's a starting point, not a guarantee. The big takeaway. Here's what most people don't realize until it's too late. Feeling broke on $200,000 isn't a personal failure. It's a signal that income has outpaced structure, that expectations scaled faster than freedom, that the rules changed, but nobody told you. Once you see that clearly, something shifts. You stop blaming yourself. You stop chasing status. You stop assuming the next raise will save you. And you start building a system that actually works. That's how high income turns into high control. If this video helped you see your money differently, subscribe. This channel exists to explain the systems behind money, not to shame people for struggling inside them. And if you're earning good money but still feel pressure, you're not crazy. You're just playing a game that changed. Thanks for watching.